Did you know that at 62, most actors fade quietly into the background? Hollywood can be brutal, and for many stars, the magic fades as the years roll on. But not Johnny Depp. He's doing the exact opposite. At an age where most performers are scaling back, he's defying expectations, rewriting the rules, and showing the world that you don't need to fit into anyone else's mold to remain an icon. Hey there. Have you ever looked at someone in their 60s and thought, wow, they've still got it? There's something incredibly inspiring about people who continue to evolve and thrive well past what society often calls their prime. And that's Johnny Depp right now, a living example that passion, creativity, and charisma don't come with an expiration date. In this video, we're diving into the remarkable story of how Johnny Depp, despite years of public scrutiny, legal battles, and canceled contracts, is now experiencing one of the most fascinating comebacks in recent memory. We're going to explore what's behind this resurgence, the kinds of projects he's now embracing, and why his fans, and even Hollywood itself, are finally seeing him through a new lens. Trust me, you'll want to stick around, because Johnny's path back to the top is filled with surprises, setbacks, and stunning moments that could only happen in a life as extraordinary as his. Let's rewind a bit. Just a few years ago, Johnny Depp's name was tangled in one of the most talked-about celebrity scandals of the decade. His legal battles with ex-wife Amber Heard dominated headlines, casting a dark cloud over his career. Studios distanced themselves. Major franchises like Pirates of the Caribbean dropped him. Social media was a battlefield. For many, it looked like the end of the road. He was labeled toxic. The damage to his image was immense. And for a while, the silence from casting agents and producers was deafening. For any other actor, that might have been the end. But Johnny Depp is not just any actor. He didn't fade away, nor did he retreat into obscurity. Instead, he turned inward and went back to basics. Away from the tabloid spotlight, he returned to his roots: art, music, and storytelling. He reconnected with the parts of himself that existed long before the fame. He started showing up at smaller, independent film festivals, not as a megastar demanding attention, but as a humble craftsman with something new to say. And slowly, the narrative began to change. One of the clearest signals of this rebirth came with his role in the French-language historical drama Jeanne du Barry. The film, directed by French filmmaker Maïwenn, cast Depp as King Louis XV, a bold choice that many in the industry didn't see coming. This wasn't a flashy, effects-heavy blockbuster. It was a moody, nuanced character study set in 18th century France, and it premiered at the prestigious Cannes Film Festival. Not only did the film get a standing ovation, but Depp's performance was praised for its restraint and depth. It was a reminder to everyone watching, Johnny Depp isn't just a pirate or a trickster. He's a serious actor with range and maturity, capable of commanding a role with quiet authority. This wasn't just a return to acting. It was a statement. Johnny wasn't coming back with loud declarations or dramatic apologies. He was letting his work speak for itself. And that, perhaps more than anything, began to restore his credibility. Audiences saw through the noise. They saw the artist again, but Johnny's comeback isn't just about what he's doing on screen. It's about how he's living his life, off it. Over the last few years, he's toured extensively with his band Hollywood Vampires, sharing the stage with rock legends like Alice Cooper and Joe Perry. For fans, it was a chance to see another side of Depp, the musician, the performer, who's always found solace and expression through sound. The passion he pours into his guitar solos is the same energy he brought to roles like Edward Scissorhands or Sweeney Todd, unfiltered, vulnerable, and magnetic. He's also shared his paintings with the world, his artwork, often bold, colorful. Portraits of cultural icons, however, has become another outlet for self-expression, and while celebrity art often gets brushed off as a vanity project, Depp's work has been taken seriously in the art world, with exhibitions selling out across Europe. It's not just about fame, it's about authenticity. People connect with his raw, honest approach, both in art and in life. Through it all, his fan base has remained astonishingly loyal. Even at his lowest points, they were there, lining up for autographs, sending letters, defending him online. That kind of support doesn't just happen. It's built over decades of connection, of creating characters that feel real, human, and relatable. Whether he was playing a whimsical chocolatier, a broken gangster, or a misunderstood monster, Johnny always brought a touch of truth that stuck with people. And now that emotional connection is paying dividends. Fans aren't just rooting for him, they're celebrating his resilience. It's also important to acknowledge how rare this kind of comeback truly is. Hollywood is not always forgiving. Ageism is real, reputation can be everything. But Johnny has managed to break through those barriers by refusing to play by the rules. He's not campaigning for sympathy or forcing a redemption arc. He's just working, and that authenticity is what's winning people back. He's also being smart about the roles he chooses now. He's steering clear of big studio projects that might restrict his creative freedom and opting instead for independent films and projects with meaningful stories. He's also reportedly directing a new biopic about Italian artist Amedeo Modigliani, his first time behind the camera since the 1997 film The Brave. It's a full-circle moment. It shows he's not just interested in acting, he's stepping into the creative process more fully than ever before, shaping stories from the ground up. And here's another layer to Johnny's evolution, his lifestyle. Gone are the chaotic, party-fueled nights of the 2000s. By all appearances, he's living more quietly now, focused on his art, his circle of close friends, and healing. There's wisdom in his eyes these days, a calmness that wasn't always there before. It's the look of someone who's been through fire and come out the other side with a clearer sense of who they are. There's a beautiful lesson in all of this. Johnny Depp is showing us that it's never too late to redefine yourself. That, even if you lose everything, your job, your reputation, your place in the world, you can still rebuild, not just return to who you were, but become something new. He's not trying to be the 30-year-old heartthrob anymore. He's owning his age, his scars, his journey, and that's far more powerful. He's also inspiring other actors who've struggled with public image or industry rejection. In interviews, younger performers have mentioned how Depp's perseverance gives them hope. If he can survive one of the most public takedowns in recent memory and still walk red carpets, still headline films, still paint and sing and live creatively, then maybe they can too. Johnny Depp's career isn't just a comeback story. It's become something of a roadmap for others navigating the increasingly turbulent waters of public perception and cancel culture. In an era where one misstep or controversy can lead to professional exile, Depp has managed to claw his way back, not by conforming, but by remaining defiantly himself. That's a powerful message to actors, both established and up-and-coming, who find themselves at the mercy of a fickle industry and even more fickle public sentiment. His resilience offers a kind of blueprint: weather the storm with authenticity, retreat from the spotlight when needed, and then re-emerge on your own terms. This sentiment isn't just hypothetical. Actors like Shia LaBeouf, Ezra Miller, and even Lindsay Lohan, individuals who've experienced varying degrees of public fallout, have all, either directly or through their representation, hinted at finding encouragement in Depp's path. They see in him not just a man who got his career back, but someone who reclaimed his identity in front of the world. When Depp started appearing at festivals and premiering smaller, art-driven films, there was a noticeable shift. No longer was he just the actor at the center of controversy. He was an artist again, a creator, someone whose narrative wasn't being written solely by tabloids but by his own hands. His decision to lean into more personal, passion-driven projects rather than trying to secure the next big studio tentpole film was a conscious one. It signaled to others that success doesn't have to come from traditional roots, and this approach is resonating deeply with a new generation of performers who are growing up in an environment where public image is everything, and the pressure to maintain an unblemished persona can be overwhelming. They see in Johnny someone who was torn down in the most public, relentless way imaginable, and yet found a way to rebuild without selling out or hiding who he is. Even seasoned actors have spoken, albeit subtly, about what Depp's resurgence represents. In backstage conversations at award shows, on film sets, and in the quieter corners of the industry, there's an acknowledgement of the double standard many actors face, where allegations, rumors, or past behaviors are amplified to career-ending degrees for some, while others quietly go on unaffected. Depp's fight back against this dynamic, particularly how he handled himself during and after his legal battles, has shown others that dignity, persistence, and artistic merit can still win out in the end. There's also a communal element to the support Depp has received from his peers. His longtime collaborators, people like Helena Bonham Carter, Tim Burton, and even musicians such as Alice Cooper, stood by him when it wasn't popular or easy to do so. That kind of loyalty sent ripples through the industry. It demonstrated that backing someone you believe in, even when public opinion is stacked against them, isn't just a risk. It can be an act of quiet rebellion against the machinery that too often decides who gets to stay and who must go. For up-and-coming talents who fear abandonment at the first sign of trouble, this kind of solidarity offers a hopeful alternative. Depp's story also reinforces the importance of diversifying one's creative outlets. When film roles dried up during the peak of his controversies, he didn't disappear. Instead, he turned to music, going on tour with Hollywood vampires. He dove into visual art, painting emotionally rich portraits and sharing them with the world. These expressions became part of his reintroduction to the public, a reminder that he is more than just a screen presence. He's a multifaceted artist. That message is being absorbed by others in the industry too. Actors are now more aware of the importance of developing parallel artistic passions. It's no longer enough to be a performer. Having other creative avenues isn't just fulfilling, it's protective. It helps cushion the blow if one part of your career takes a hit. Depp's journey illustrates that survival isn't just about waiting for a second chance. It's about continuously creating, even when no one's watching. Younger actors have also pointed out how refreshing it is to see someone in Depp's position not grovel for forgiveness or issue carefully worded apologies crafted by a team of PR experts. He never tried to force the public to take him back. He simply kept working, kept showing up, and let the quality of his work do the talking. That quiet confidence, that willingness to let time and artistry reshape public opinion, stands in sharp contrast to the desperation that sometimes colors celebrity comebacks. For those watching from the sidelines, especially artists navigating their own storms, that example is far more empowering than any social media statement could ever be. There's also the deeply human element of watching someone age with honesty and grace in an industry that tends to worship youth. Depp didn't undergo a dramatic physical transformation to look younger, nor did he chase relevance by clinging to his most famous roles. Instead, he accepted his age and leaned into characters that reflect where he is in life. His role as King Louis XV in Jeanne du Barry wasn't just an artistic risk. It was a declaration that he has something valuable to offer at this stage in his career. That's incredibly inspiring for older actors who may feel like their best opportunities are behind them. Depp is proving that not only can your second act be as powerful as your first, it can be richer, deeper, and more meaningful. Even those outside the entertainment world can feel the ripple effect. Creatives in all fields, writers, painters, musicians, dancers, see in Depp's path a lesson in endurance. It's a reminder that reinvention is always possible, that setbacks don't have to be permanent, and that the world will often respond to authenticity more than polish. In a time when careers can rise and fall with a single viral moment, his slow burn return feels almost revolutionary. Depp has become a symbol of perseverance, not because he made a perfect comeback, but because he didn't give up. He didn't allow the lowest moments of his life to define his story, and that message, that it's possible to move forward, to find purpose again, even after being written off, is incredibly powerful. For any actor sitting at home wondering if their moment has passed, if the spotlight will ever find them again, Johnny Depp offers an answer. Yes, it can. But it won't happen by chasing approval. It happens by staying true to your art, weathering the noise and knowing your worth, even when the world seems to have forgotten it. And let's not overlook the financial aspect. Johnny's return isn't just emotional, it's economic. Studios and distributors are seeing the numbers. His name still pulls crowds, his fans still buy tickets, albums, art prints. His fragrance line has become a surprising hit, tapping into both nostalgia and novelty. Brands are realizing what audiences have known all along. Johnny Depp still matters, and not just as a headline, as a cultural force. So where does he go from here? That's the exciting part. With each new role, he's proving that he's far from done. He's not just revisiting past glories, He's building something new, something more lasting. The depth of his performances is growing. The way he tells stories, whether through film, music, or canvas, is evolving. There's a sense that his best work may still be ahead of him, which is a rare and thrilling thing to say about any actor in their 60s. If you've ever doubted whether it's possible to bounce back from rock bottom, just look at Johnny. If you've ever thought it was too late to chase a dream, let his story be your proof. Reinvention isn't reserved for the young. It's available to anyone willing to fight for it. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Johnny Depp performance, the one that left a mark on you? Do you think his recent work has surpassed his early hits? Let's talk about it in the comments. Whether it's his early roles like Gilbert Grape or his recent portrayal of Louis XV, everyone has a Depp moment that stuck with them. And if you enjoy these deep dives into the lives of iconic stars, stick around. Our next video takes you inside the powerful comeback story of Brendan Fraser, a journey filled with heartbreak, hope, and the kind of raw vulnerability that will move you. Trust me, it's one of the most touching stories in Hollywood today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and tap the bell so you never miss out on inspiring stories just like this one. Thanks for spending your time with us. And remember, sometimes the best part of your story starts right when the world counts you out.